And we're live. Hello, everybody. My name is Leo San, not my real name, and I am a professional software engineer. And as a side hobby, I started to develop some games. Um, I've been a Unity developer for a couple of years now. I'm still developing a VR game called Master Alchemist. You can look at that in my YouTube channel. And also, I wanted to learn to create the games in Godot, and that's why we're here in our stream, in my stream today, because I have decided that while I am learning to use and to develop in Godot, I will also take a challenge to create an Android game fully in an Android device. So as you can see right now in the screen, I'm sharing my Xiaomi Pad 7 on my PC so you can see what I'm doing. So the game will be entirely created in Android from scratch. And well, last week we started prototyping the game and creating some of the core functions of the game and also the prototype of the layouts. And I will continue that. But before starting to develop again, um, let's correct some things that I did wrong. And in these past days, I have like studied a little bit of the documentation of Godot, and there were some things that were made wrong, uh, and I want to correct them to use the best practices in while developing Godot. So first of all, let's start by uh, this part here, where I try to stop the physical object from rotating using these integrated forces and like in the rotation degrees at 0. We can delete completely. We can delete this completely because there is a better way to do that, and it's going to the rigid body 2D, and here we have the activation, and we can check the lock rotation. So if with that option activated, enabled, we the object will no longer rotate whatsoever, and we can demonstrate that by testing that here. So we can see, well, the already placed object is rotated, but it won't rotate anymore. Okay, so that's for one of the corrections. I still don't know if I want the items to rotate or not, but for now we will lock the rotation. We'll see in the future if I feel like rotation will be like a better visual experience in the game, because there will be objects, there will be items with different shapes, and so maybe they will benefit of the rotation. But for now, let's let's lock the rotation, and we will see in the future what we do. So next, um, okay. So in order to apply the impulse, as we can see in here, that's okay, but that's only okay uh, if the zero coordinates in my object are in the middle, as we can see here. But it can be that the coordinates, the pivot point of the item, could not be exactly in the center. So that function, the apply impulse function, could be uh, could not leave to the desired effect. So this is one way to do that, but I want to do it the proper way. That is I think it's apply central impulse, and we will use the vector2 dot up times impulse force. Also, as we are working with physics, we need to change the process by the physics process. So it will be like physics process, and we remove the duplicate code. And I think that's more correct this way. Okay, so now I have, let's see, the position checker. Just for one time, multiple enter it. So we're doing nothing else. Okay, so that's it for now. For the That's it for the production of things. Right? Yeah. So yeah. So we're okay now. What else? Let's check what we have. So right now we have our object that can move but won't collide with the sides of the view, and we can launch the object, but we can do anything else. So we can know when it's colliding. Well, we can check the collision, but we don't know what to do with that yet. So I can make. I think we can try to make some things first. That one is checking the collision and stop the agent to collide, and the other is like to control the different collisions that can be. So let me think on where I want to start. We have the merge item, but this needs way more properties, and this will be the base object, but we will need every object for every combination that can be. So every item will be one object of that, but it will share. They will share the same. They will share the same. Um, they will share the same properties, also the same components. The collision shape is the only thing that will change, and that's why I think we can. I think here we can take some benefits of the Godot resources. So, if you don't know, Godot resource is a collection of properties that can be stored with different values in our file system, and also we can add that to different objects to check for different properties. So that would be okay for my merge item, because we can store in the resource, we can store the texture that will be applied. We can store also its name. Sorry. So we can also store its name, some values. For example, if I need some objects to be bigger, or I need to change the scale of any object, I can store that in there. Also, I could store the next item, because every time an item collides with another one of the same type, that will trigger the merge for the next one. So we can also store in a resource the corresponding value of the next item that will result in the collision. So let's see what we need right now. So let me check my notes. So we started by making a layout of the game, coordinates, and places. So here I have my pending tasks that I wanted to address on this stream. Here I have the explanation. I think that we do not really need this. I think we don't really need this right now because I have already explained that. So I don't know if I can. No, I don't think so. Okay, I was checking if I could clear. No. I was checking if I could clear 5 again. Let me select everything and go there. How can I do that? Okay. Alright, so let's check that. So what we need? We need at least the name of the object, or our resource. We need the name, we need the texture. What else? The scale, maybe. And at least the next item. And we will see if we need anything else. So, but for now, I think that will be. I think that this will be the best approach right now. And if we need anything else, we can add that to the. We can add that to the resource. So let's start right. Come on. My shoulder. So let's start by creating the resource template. So let's go back to Godot. So I will need to create a new script. I think I can do that in here. We can call it item resource river, no resource. A second to myself. Okay, so yeah, item resource. I want to. Yeah, I can call it item resource. Let's create that, and let's open that in our script editor. Okay, so Here we do not want to extend node. We want to extend resource, I think. Okay, let's give it a class name, like most item properties, for example, and we'll start to exporting the variables. So it is string. So we wanted texture to be a on the scale. Input. And the next item will be a vaccine. Okay. So we have our item resource, and I think we can already create something. So let's create a new folder called resources. And in our new folder, let's try to create new resource and a merge item properties. And we can start calling, I think, this, for example. And now, if I click in here, I have in my inspector, I have some of I have my properties here. Okay, so right now, my scale, for example, will be at 1. My name will be this. Texture, still don't know. Next item, still don't know. But we will make a placeholder for that. So, okay. There's some things that are that we're lacking. For the assets, you can see I have no texture, but I have downloaded from itch.io a free texture pack or free sprite pack that we can check in here. So we have my deserts, and here we can see like we have a collection that it's pixelated. Well, you can see that very pixelated because it's a, I think it's a 32 by 32 sprite, but don't worry about that because we can scale that through. So let's copy the source and let's put that in my Godot projects. We can merge assets, textures. We can paste that here. So now we have our textures and deserts. I don't know how it's pronounced in proper English, but yeah, deserts. This. Well, then we have the texture, so we grab the piece, get that texture. And my next item, it's not okay. but I will call it the merge item. We will spawn the merge item. Okay, that will change. That will change. Don't worry about that. It's okay. As I usually say, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. So let's see. Now I need to add that to my script. So the merge item script, we need to have a merge item resource. Yeah, merge item properties resource. So here I have my exports. I want to be lower than that, so export var item properties. It will be of type merge item properties. And if I save that, and now I go to my merge item index vector, I think it's okay. Yeah. So now I have a property that's its item properties. You can see it here. So I can go to my resource folder, get the cookies, and move that to my item property. So now I have that. Now I have the resource linked to the item properties, and so we need a couple of things. So for now, I need let's create the ready function, and we'll need a couple of things. We'll need the texture to the so I will need the texture to the for now let me just do nothing with that, but I will need to assign the texture. I will also apply the scale. And for now, I think there's nothing else we need. But to assign the texture, we need to get the link for the collision shape that we have. So our collision shape, and let's see. So I'll need it's the on ready. Shape will be, and I can make dollar relationship to the, and we will also need the texture. So in already are items right, and the spread. So now we have access. So now the parent node have access to its child nodes directly by using the onReady and the dollar sign. So, what she wants to be on camera today? I'll be the character of this stream. Okay, so aside from this interruption, let's continue. The assigning the texture is easy. The easier part, so we need here. So let's create a function for this. The because I do like to create a function for everything. So function, it's a private one, so I will apply texture, and here we can, okay, I can do like something like this. It's not necessary, but I can do something like that. So if texture null, and so if item right is null, print. So if anything of what we need is null, I mean it's not defined or it's not assigned, we will return because we can't do anything, and we'll continue only if we have everything. So if texture is null, we will also print texture is missing, and return also. I think I will improve this. So we have one large item and apply texture. Okay. So now that we already checked that we have a sprite 2D and a texture, we can do something like item sprite dot texture equals my texture, and that will be it. So assign the texture, apply texture for item properties dot texture. Okay, so that's okay. We don't need anything else in there. I think we can like do something like print error or something like that. Let's see, error string, push error. Well, that's for the future. We will need to log the errors because whenever the game is finished and it's published, users could have errors, and we will need a way to detect if there is any bug. So this kind of logs are very extremely useful for us. So yep. So let's keep going. Complete texture, we have that. So now we need to apply the scales. So function apply scale, and we have the scale that is a float. And what we need to do here, so we cannot apply the scale directly to the root because it's a body, and that one. what we need to do is apply the texture to the sprite, and then apply the texture to the collision shape. So applying the texture to the sprite is easy. So we have our item sprite dot scale, and we will multiply that for the scale. Let's see, like desired scale, just to not be confused with the rigid body scale. So desired scale. And for the collision shape, it's a little bit, but it's easy. You can do that like very difficult, but I found out that in Godot for at least on 4.4 is really easy. If you ask an AI to do that, it will return a very convoluted way to do that. So let's say by collision shape, I think we have apply scale, and we need to create a vector 2. So it will be a vector 2 of my desired scale and desired scale. Why this way? Because we need the scale to be uniform. So we need to scale equally in the y-axis and the x-axis, so horizontally and vertically. And that's why we use the same number, or the same value for the two axes of the vector. Okay, so let me remove that. So also, if so, we have here a use case that can be a little bit messy, and that's when the scale is 0. So if the scale is 0, the object will disappear, but it will be still there. So we want that. We do not want that, and I think I will check for that. So if the desired scale is equals 0, this is not the best way to have 0, but it's okay. Print merge item. Apply scale. Error. Desired scale is 0. Alright. So I think we can check that already. But I won't do that on the merge item. So I will remove this thing. I will save. So here, merge item, I also name the class. So we can do a new item. This will be our base item. I think we can create a new scene, a merge. I think we can create a merge item. Yeah. So in here, we already have the properties, but we do not have the rest of it. So if we compare, we have the sprite to the, where is my cursor? We have the sprite to the and the collision shape and the collision checker, but we do not have anything else there. That's because even if we can inherit that this from this item, we need to add the rest of it. So bear with me for a moment. This will make some sense, at least for me. And I think it's easier for me to have like a default object and then try to create the rest of the items by reusing this merge item. But well, we need to set up a couple of things. The physical scale needs to be 0. We will deactivate the rotation and the contact monitoring to 10. And we need to apply. I hope there was like templates for this. So dump of 2 and 500. 500. So the dump would be 2, and for the angular, let's stay with 500. I don't really like that value. And I think that's it. But we already have our our script there. My bird is walking in the keyboard right now. Sorry. Let me go again. So we have this script already, and we can add the cookies sprite, well, the cookies resource, and we are lacking some of the nodes, so we will add the sprite D. And we will add the collision shape. Well, let me add a sprite in here so we can see, because right now there is nothing. So let's add our this sprite. So now we can see that it's very small. And I'm not entirely sure if that will be okay. That's why the scale factor. But let's not go too much ahead of ourselves. So let's center that in here. So this takes like a capsule shape. So let's try to add the collision shape. I think we can go with the collision shape 2D. And we create the shape. And I think we can create the capsule. But we need to rotate the capsule. So is there a way then I can rotate this? I think not. I think I can do that with the transform. Right? Yeah. Okay, so let's rotate that. Okay, that's entirely perfect. Okay, that's perfect. So let's yeah. So that's okay. think it is. Yeah, that's, well, it can be a little bit picky. And the height could be like 28, maybe? Yeah, 27. And I position 0, I don't know that. 27? Yeah, because I want some kind of margin there. Alright. Okay. And now we also need to add the so how we did the collision checker. Can we? Yeah, I think we can. Can we save that as a node? I'm not really sure. So let me remove that. Because the collision checker doesn't have anything. So let's first save this. And we call it cookies. Oh, I think my SS are being like very, very strict. Very loud. We will save in scenes. And we will create another one with just a node. And we will add the collision check. Yep. Just that. We will improve this like way lots. So let's call it collision checker. And I think we can add that collision checker to our node. Okay, but I will call it different. Collision checker. And I will name this. Yeah. But right now, what will happen is we do not have the body entered, so we can use that and connect the signal. We'll do the same for the cookies. So link that to the collision checker, and that will be our cookies. So right now I can come here to our game. I can remove. I will move, not remove, this merge item because I don't care if it's that or it's there. No, because I want the coordinates of this. Created by 704. Let me check if we have. So this is 088.7. Okay. All right. to copy the values. We'll put that in here. We'll add now our cookies. And not there. In game, we'll add our cookies. Okay, cookies are extremely small. Let's paste the position values. So our cookies are extremely small. So they're right here. And I don't think that we will be able to see. Okay, so yeah, there's something that is not okay. All right. Also, I forgot to apply the scale. So, properties dot scale. So for the person that were screaming at the screen that I was forgetting that, thank you. I have. Okay, I think that will do. Let's check again. Valid access to property or key tag. Okay, yeah, of course. That's because our merge item doesn't have any properties. So I will create a new resource. Let's call it default. So our default texture, we have a scale of 1. The name will be default. And the texture, we can go without the texture, but I will use the icon RPG just to be consistent. So let's try again. By the way, the merge item will have a default resource, and now we should be able to see that. Yeah, we have here the default, and also we will disable the movement. So I think we're set. Yeah, we can we can see the cookie. We can see anything here. So the drag is too much. Uh, the dump is 1.5. Okay, so let's go to our cookies, merge item, the activation. I don't need that. So it's 1.5. And also should be in our merge item. Should be 1.5 also. Let's try again. Yeah. I don't really like it. I can see almost anything. Also, the force should be way higher. Alright. Hey, come here. Yeah, no, the force shouldn't be. Um, yeah, it's 1500, and we have here 1500. Uh, let's change that as a default. When when I start like assigning different weight to each object, then that will change. But for now, let's keep that at 1500 and a mass of 1 kilo. Um, so my first item 3, I think I wanted to be this. Okay, so now if I go to my resource, and we apply the scale, let's say 2.0, that should be better. No, still not applying. Let's see. So I need that to be 0.0. My resource. So my cookies, when I look at that, it would be scaled 2.0. Let's go like way higher. Or let's see if there's something. Yeah, okay. So now we have like a really big cookie. So let's compare. If I go by 1, and then we can. So 1 is like stupidly small. Let's see if there's some different here. If I go to 2. Okay, that's better. I like 2. Yeah. So that's one thing where I like. I think the game will benefit to rotate its objects to. The game will benefit to have its items to be able to rotate, because this doesn't seem right. And let's try to stop blocking the rotation, and let's go by something like 20 here. Because I want them to rotate, but I don't want them to rotate forever. So 1 here. Yeah, I will call that different. Except the cookies. So yeah, like 20 here and remove the rotation. Let's check in here where if we are also okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's see how it feels. So yeah, I think I like that more. So they can rotate a bit, but not much. Maybe I go with the same as the. Maybe I go with the same value. Let's see. By the way, if my audio is not okay, if you can hear me, or if the volume is too low or too high, please tell me that in the chat so I can fix that. And if everything is okay, then it's okay. Okay, so I was here. Let me save everything. Let's check. Let's check if that feels better now. So let me. I do. I really like that. Yes, I like that a lot. Like that way a lot. Way more. Yeah. Okay. I really like that. So I will have that. So we don't need to lock the rotation. Movement restrictions. Uh, I think I didn't. Okay, it's okay. I did not write that down, so it's okay. So I will leave that. That's my own notes to be able to follow what I was working on. So now that we have our hood okay, we could remove this sprite also. Let me demonstrate. I can clear. So this is only a collision without any visual clue. But if we go in here, we can see that the cookies have their own. I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. Um, Let me see if I can. Yeah, no, I enjoy the rotation a lot. So we don't need a sprite in here. We don't need this sprite. I can leave that or I can clear that. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, but just because I'm picky, I will leave that. Also, I could like create this sprite to the from code, but I cannot create a collision shape from code. Well, I can, but it won't be accurate. So I will leave the sprite to be just as a visual aid. Also, I as I am listening to myself, I think I wait, okay. So what's happening here? I think I can leave the sprite. Yeah, yeah. I'll retract my words because I feel better to have having the cookies in here. Also, I think I have changed something that I didn't need to. So not everything is okay. All right then. No, I didn't want to create anything. This is okay. So far, so good. So right now we're going okay, and let's go to the boring part. Well, not boring for me, but sure will be boring for you. And let's go. And we need to do something with the collision checker. So it's so what I can do is I can go to every single object that I create, go to the node and assign this body enter to the same function over and over again, or I could do that automatically, and I will do that later. So let's create the function ready. By the way, the ready function, as the name implies, will execute whenever the item is ready in the project. So whenever I spawn any object, the ready function will will trigger. So I think I can do like uh, Can I do that from here? So I need my parent folder. So get parent dot body enter connect and on merge enter. So that should be. I will remove that from here. We'll disconnect that because right now we're doing it from this. That's not entirely okay. We will go for now with that. So yeah, cookies, bounds, chicken wings. So let's see. Self dot get or get parent. Get parent. This is not entirely okay, but we can go with this. Dot name. Provided with set a plus sign here and a plus sign here. So what we'll do this is concatenate the properties that are string text with my text in here. So we'll have that. And also I will add well, it should never be null. But that's okay. We need to always check for errors. Error control is extremely necessary. Yeah, so cookies collided with merge item 2, merge item 2 collided with cookies, and merge item 2 collided with bounds. Okay, so now by code we have connected. So I like the way that I can connect to the signal from code, but I don't like to get the parent. But I can do that. It's allowed, but I don't like that. For now, we will leave that. For now, I will leave that. Let's see if maybe next week I just correct everything and do that again another way. But it's okay. It's okay. So let's keep going. Let's go to the merge and spawn thing, because here we will need a couple of things that are not directly intuitive, but will work. Okay, so before that, let me be right back for a second, because I need to drink some water. See you in a minute. Alright, I'm back. I needed to drink some water, go to the toilet, and we can continue. So, let's see. What I will need here is a boolean that is collision my bad is just launching things. from the table to the floor. Okay, so let's go. I think it was muted for a second. Um, let me go back again. So we need a way to check if we have already managed the collision, because we will have two objects collisioning, a collision with two objects, and that so and that can be tricky, because if we have two objects, let's say there's like the circle. Um, let's say that we have two circles. If the objects collide with with one with each other, one with another. So let me go with red and a little thinner. So if they collide in here, as both have the same script, both will say, "Hey, I collide," and that will happen at the same time. Well, one just after another, but almost at the same time. And if so, if we then spawn the next object, because those are for the same type, what will happen is this one will spawn the next item, but this one will also spawn the next item, because it's happening at the same time. And we can check that by looking at this part in here. So whenever it collides, we will see we can see two messages: cookies collided with merge item, and merge item collided with cookies. So yeah, they collided both. And so if we don't have anything to control that, we will have double the items that we want, because if we merge two items, we want only one result item, not two. And that's why I will create this collision. Collision manage. Because right now we don't have any managed collision. So let's check if body is not null. Body is never null, but we can check that as well. And body is merge item. So if body is merge item, so if both are the same type, we need to check if the name is the same, for example. So if I do not have an item here. Okay. We need the item properties. So let's get current item properties. That is a item properties. And we will need to assign that. I don't really like that approach, but right now I don't have a way to do that, and I don't want to get stuck. So we'll go with that. Okay. So let's continue. If current item properties dot name is equals to body dot item properties dot name, so they are the same, same type object, control the manage the collision, and so if collision manage is false, and we will do that if not collision manage, then we have the body dot. I think we cannot do that. Um, First name, sugar. But we can do that better. So let me go. Position checker. We can have this. Yeah, we can have this, but I will create a new function. So function initialize, and we will need item properties of merge item properties. Yeah, and for now we will have our parent item properties being equals to item properties, and we will have our merge item, and I will have here my collision checker. To be the dollar collision checker, so I can use that here. Collision checker dot initialize with properties. Also, I will have this. So my collision checker, I will change this, and it won't be the ready function. So let me see. Connect to signal. Let me see if I can do that. Like collision signal of signal, and thus I can make the collision signal dot connect, and now I think I can do like a collision checker dot connect to connect to signal. And we will pass the signal for the enter. Maybe this will fail. I'm not entirely sure yet. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Let me see. Let's check for errors. Okay, everything seems to be alright. Yeah, that's working. Cool, yeah, wait. I like that more. Uh, so I don't need to try to get the parent, so it's the sorry. So it's the parent who calls for uh, the initialization for the signals. So I can also do that call right here, and here maybe connect to signal, solution signal. I think I can do that. So now this will be private. So they can do that. And now in my merge item, I don't need to do this box. It's not what I want. But I can do that here. Okay. I'm happier with this. Yeah. So let's go back to here. So collision manage false. So we have our body, collision checker, collision manage goes through. So appending the properties that name plus managing collision. Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to talk with my wife. Okay, Max. Sorry, there was a good news that needed my attention, but everything is okay. So let's continue. I was checking whenever this collision was made correctly, and we will just check if everything is okay. So let's try again. Let's go launch something. Okay, we do not have any cookies, so I cannot check that. So let's duplicate that. Let's position the second one somewhere in here. Also disable the movement, and let's try that. And now we have cookies. We are checking. We're looking. So as we can see in here, we have the cookies collected with cookies too. Cookies is managing collision, but we do not have here the cookies too. We do have the cookies too loaded with cookies, but we do not have the cookies to manage collision. And that's because of our of this part in here. Okay? Because we are checking. So right now we will have just one of we have just one of our collisions. Alright? Does that make any sense? I think so. So we can remove this. So first we manage the collision. Then we need to spawn the new item. So what we'll do, let's see, because the collision checker doesn't have, so we will still need to we'll create a signal here. And we will call it, let's see, it emerge. Yep. Is this okay? No. So now I create a signal. I think it's in lowercase. And in our item, in the upgrade function, as we have the collision checker, so we have a collision checker dot emerge dot connect. Okay, and we will connect to a function. We will name it function on emerge. And where will this do? And also we need the body as a merge item. And with the on item merge, we want to destroy the body. So body dot free, and we need to destroy self. So just Q free. Because we want to destroy, we want to remove the two objects in the collision and spawn the next item. So function spawn next item, and now it's because I want to check before this, so collision manage. Maybe we can put that in here. So the collision manage will have like it emerge dot emit body. We'll send the body to the parent. So in my merge item on it emerge, So I want to do the collision. I want to spawn next item, and then I will need to destroy the two items. So spawn next item, we need a var instance item instance will be item properties dot next item dot instantiate. Um, I, I don't think I can use the position yet. Um, Let me see if I can make something like that. Yeah. And then I want to get parent dot add child item instance because I want. So let me explain. So if these two cookies collide, and then I instantiate and just make a child, it will be inside these cookies. I want the new object inside this game node, as child of this game node. So we have the parent that is game, and then we add the child of our new item. So let's see. If I remove, can I remove that this way? Okay, so maybe. Okay, so for this, let's see. No, so oh yeah, of course. Then need to add a function to the connection of the signal. Okay, so we launch. All right, but there's something that is not okay. Let me see the remote. Time. Right. So can't. Want to see the remote of this? I can't. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Game. I fucked up. I don't know. Maybe I can't in Android. Okay, so here. Alright. I don't know why, but it's okay. Let me see. So we have two cookies. Let me see if I can check the remote. Yeah, okay. So those two are not showing, are disabled. We have two cookies. So okay, I have enabled them. It's okay, by the way. Let's shoot that, and right now we do not have the cookies. We don't have the cookies. We have a new vegetable. And I will check off camera if I can change that name. But right now we can see that our code is working correctly. So that's awesome. but there is some things that it are not okay. Command queue execution present, merge items, connect item contain while flashing queries, which is called deferred. Okay. So here, when adding the child, it's telling me to use the call deferred. Let me search for that. Let's see. Um, so in Godot 4x4, what's the let's see. Can change this state while flashing queries. What now? Godot 4x4 can change state while flashing queries. Because, let's see. Oh, my bird. Okay. My neighbors on the balcony and my birds are freaking out. So, the call deferred at child. Okay. So, currency call deferred and at child, and then so get parent dot call for at child and instance. We will comment that. Let's check that we clear our code. So what's the debugger have to say? Don't execute present. The present file with error. So I will need to check that also. But let's see. Okay, no more errors. This I have no way to know what does that mean. So let's go to the dot core and well, not. I don't need everything. Just a message. So let's see. Maybe seems to be that. Yeah, that's the same. So nothing. All right. See for this one also. So there seems that there is not. So it's a Vulkan error. Miranda doesn't use Vulkan, and you want to use Vulkan. We're not using Vulkan, so not entirely sure about this. Let me check project properties to see if we're using Vulkan in any way. So project settings, uh, rendering. Oh, we're using Vulkan. Okay. We're using Vulkan. Okay. I have no idea. Well, I will look for that. For now, it doesn't seem to. It does not seem to. Doesn't seem to have any sort of. It doesn't affect our game for now. So I think we can ignore that forum for now. I will take that to camera. Also, I will remove this warning. Check again. Okay, so now we don't have. We have the command here execute on present. I think that happens when I change. Windows, when I change views. So I don't think that will happen, but in when it's executed outside of Godot, but we'll have that in check. All right. Okay, so we can spawn items. We can merge them. So right now I won't need that anymore. I don't need those anymore. Sorry. Remove. Yes. I do this with my keyboard. Yes. Okay, so now we need a way to spawn our items to launch. That will be a more complex system, but for now I will make that very, very simple. But we need to prepare first a thing. So here in the game scene, I need to create a new node, a timer node, and I will put that, let's say, 0.5 seconds. It will be a one shot, and I don't want it to auto start. Okay, so I need to create a script in game, and we will put that in scripts and game. Yeah, extension 3. Let's create a class name, call game manager, just in case, and how can I do that? Does the preload works outside the function for items? I think so. And we want to preload or it's yeah. So function heavy. For now we will pass because we need to check for collisions again. Collisions. I think I already did that. So go ahead and change. Okay, let's do that in my script and export for spawn position. So vector 2. So now in my game I have this spawn position that will be It's running here, copy value. Go to the spawn position and paste the values. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go back. We're right here, so let's create a function. Spawn new item. With the preload with the packets. Return some resource advanced. Let's search how this works. Let's see. How they use the preload packet scene. Already. Load. Not really sure about this. I don't really like this. So, say preference. So, it, set packet scene, preload. Yes. Okay. Okay, I think we can do that. Let's close everything. Let's go. So, spawn. It's a scene. So we have instance and spawn. 68. To D. Okay, so alright, okay, give me a second. But library was still in the case. So if it's not D, so I want my instance position to be spawn position. And then have child instance and so from the ready function, okay, spawn item, a default item. And for now, this is the only thing because I need to create a system that will spawn different items based on a probability based on the level or which item the user has gone through. So, for example, if the cookies go to cheesecake, I'm from cheesecake. Let's go to the brownie. then there is a possibility, a small probability a small chance that this system will spawn a cheesecake instead of a cookie. Does that make sense? I think so. But for now, let's do that. So, right now, I have a bug. I have a bug that you will see. And you can see that. So, as you can see, we have already because we have already a cookie in here. Just spawning just made the collision to happen. So I will move the cookie to somewhere else. And let's see if I can go. Okay, well, just bear with. Okay, that's not okay. So we have a bug. And also there is no way that we do anything. So yep, we need to make things different. So let's go to our script. So we need to make a couple of things different. On the merged item, where we have the on item merge, and we need to spawn the next item. So if item instance is merge item, I need item instance dot enable. Did I call it enable? Yeah, but I don't want to call it that because I don't know if that's the whole script to be enabled. So actions, let's call that. So now I have errors because I was using this and that, and instance dot actions enabled have to be false because we do not want to launch the next instance. Also, we need to call a signal. So we need to create a signal. I will create this on my signal. So signal item launch. And whenever we have launch, so item launch, and from my game, whenever I spawn a new item, if item instance is merged item, what they will is they will connect that. So function on launch. I want to spawn new item. It will be, but for now will be the default. Okay, so item instance dot item launch dot connect on item launch. So now, whenever I launch an item, I will be able to spawn new one almost immediately. I think. Let me see. Oh, okay, okay. Something happened. What happened? Why? Why? No, 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 no. I don't want. Okay, because I renamed. Because I renamed the variable to since enable the name. Okay, so launch that. Launch. Launch. Okay. Did you see that? Did you see this part here? I didn't launch the cookie, but it collided with with itself because it was spawned immediately after I just tapped. So that's not okay whatsoever. And that's why we need a timer. Well, right now I can go to the note and use the timeout and do that in on timer's timeout, connect, and in on timer's timeout I will put this one here. And right now I need also my on ready. To be my timer because I will what respected event class but oh yes, that's true. Um so on my item launch I'll put if timer stop, but if it's not stop, just return and then timer dot start. And now whenever we launch an item, it will activate the timer. The timer is set to 0.5 seconds. So every half a second will spawn. And that will give me time for the object to be launched. So let's check for that. So I have the cookie, I can move the cookie. Well, I can move way out, but that's okay for now. I will launch that, and the new one appears half a second later. And everything seems to be working. What happened? Null value. Okay, there's something. There's something that doesn't have a cookie or something like that. Okay, so here, because the next item doesn't have anything, so we need to check if item properties the next item is equals null return. So that's why looking for so checking if something is null and then return is better than you making an if it's not null and then because here I don't need to indent anything, I don't need to put anything inside the new if the new statement. So I can do that like in two lines instead of moving the whole block of code inside my if statement. So with that, I should be able to have solved that bug. So Yeah, we can keep throwing things there. I would love to like make a cookie to bounce. And then, okay, that's not okay. That's not okay whatsoever. All right, all right. So it's not going to be here. It is going to be here. Because I do not want to, or I don't want the last item to disappear. Okay, that's what I want. You can see. It seems like I'm launching potatoes from my perspective, but that's okay. Potatoes are okay. I love how everything is responding right now. I really like it. I don't know what you think, but I really, really like it. This physics interaction, I love that. And I think, well, I've been streaming for 2 hours. Sadly, I have other things to do, so I will finish my stream here. I hope this stream has been better than the last one. I hope that my birds won't. I hope that my birds haven't annoyed you enough to don't give me a chance or an opportunity. If you have any suggestion or any comment, you can check this. This stream will be uploaded to YouTube at Press Balloon Studios. And so, if you have any comment or any suggestion, you can also comment on that video. I will read every single comment, and I also usually read every single chat message. So, whenever you want to leave me a message, a direct message, in whatever my platforms are, I am happy to read that. Happy to know about you. So, I will see you next Thursday if everything goes well. If I need to change my schedule, I will warn about that in Twitter or X. So follow me at Press Balloon Studios, and I hope to see you again on my next stream. So bye bye for now, and take care.